I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else but not for me. Love was out to get me. Do-do-do-do. That's the way it seemed. Do-do-do-do. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace, a doubt in my mind. I am love. I'm a believer. I'm a dreamer of my life. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? Do-do-do-do. All you get is pain. Do-do-do-do. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace, a doubt in my mind. I am love. I'm a believer and a dreamer of my life. All right. You guys sounded great. I saw you rocking and grooving. Let's stand for the next one. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. How about some joy here? We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. Joy, 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 joined together, together in joy. Joy, 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 joined together, together in joy. Now take some of that joy and greet the people around you. Time to break it down. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. Peace, 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 joined together, together in peace. Peace, 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 joined together, together in peace. Everybody sing joy together. Oh, joy together. Oh, joy together. Joy. Join together, together in love. Join together, together in love. Join together, together in love. join together, together in love.
Woo! Join together in love. Yahoo!
No, you're good. You're good. Are you sure?
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Capistrano Valley. And do you know it's graduation time? Have you noticed it? Cards, balloons, parties everywhere. I had the joy of going to my granddaughter's kindergarten graduation. Now, my nephew, who's 20-something, when he graduated from kindergarten, they went full bore. They did caps, they did gowns, they did all this stuff. I go, where does they go from there? You know? But it's graduation time. Welcome to our spiritual center. We're a trans-denominational community, which means there's no one way to love God. There's just God's way. We honor all religious beliefs, all spiritual practices. We say thank you. Thank you for being alive so we can be ourselves, to worship and pray and to be free. That's what I want to tell you today. So, if you would join me, please, we're going to do the Lighting the Flames of Faith, which kind of honors and explains how we love all those around us. Lighting the flames of faith, a call to worship. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we will honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by a sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path to love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as we light that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And if you would join me for 2 minutes of silence.
Now, please join me in prayer, because this is what I know. I know that God is power, God is one presence, one love, one harmony, and all-knowing. And I know God is all and all is God. And I am happy and complete today and forever. Within me, that which is perfect and complete. It is the spirit of all life, all truth, and all action. And I am happy in the certain knowledge of this inner light. I cannot be sad or sorry, but must radiate joy in life, for life is within me now. And I declare that this meeting of knowledge spoken today is truth, and it's in perfect harmony, perfect perfection. And I give thanks and gratitude for all of our ministers, our practitioners, our volunteers, and our congregation. And I am so happy and complete with having this knowledge that our relationship with God is unshakable, unbreakable, and this union can never be depleted. And I release these words into the law, knowing the work has already been taken care of, and I know the law receives and executes, and so it is. Now, if you will join me in your brochure that you have, the Declaration of Principles. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. It is not absorbed by its creation. We believe the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite knowledge of God. And now, join me with an affirmation for today. I recognize my doubt as an opening for wonder, and so it is.
And so it is, and so it is, and it's so time. So time for Jen Dacton. Come on, Jen.
Thank you very, very much. It is good to be home. This place, as many of you know, holds a very, very special place in my heart, and I am always so grateful when I get to come back and sing and be with all of you. So thank you for having me. And with that, you guys know this one. I do this every time because you guys sing it so beautifully, so I need to hear you sing it again. This is Love. Don't wanna close my heart, don't wanna feel shut down, don't wanna lose my openness. I fight with letting go, trying times make us grow. We need to keep a willingness to see the beauty in the pain, to feel the sunshine through the rain. Watch the flowers start to grow, and through it all we need to know it all comes down to love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. It all comes down to love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. I see the pain you're in, patience is wearing thin. Your faith has left without a trace. But just keep moving on, and before too long, you'll see a world that's full of grace. You'll see the beauty in your pain. You'll feel that sunshine through the rain. You'll watch those flowers start to grow, And through it all, you'll start to know it all comes down to love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. It all comes down to love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. I'm not saying that life is always easy, but I know it doesn't have to be so hard. We're in this together, and I want you to know that love is really all that we are. Love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. It all comes down to love, 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 sweet love. It all comes down to love. 'Cause all we are is love. Yes, all we need is love. And all we are is love. It all comes down to love. 'Cause all we are is love. Thank you so much. Please give a hand to this incredible band as well. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you.
So great to have you back in the house. Oh, let's give Jen, am I on? Here we go. Let's give Jen another round of applause. Well, Grand Rising, everyone. So happy to see you here, and a happy Memorial Day weekend. When I think about what this holiday really means, it feels a little bypassy to say happy. You know, when we are honoring Memorial Day, we're really honoring those people who gave their life in service to this country. And sadly enough, we've added a few names to that list over the last few months in Iran. And with all the partying and shopping for sales, I think it's easy to forget what Memorial Day really stands for. And so let's just have a moment to take for ourselves to honor those that may have been in service to this country and lost their lives. And I say bless you and thank you. You know, there's a story I like to tell on Memorial Day. Some of you have heard it, and it fits so perfectly into my talk, so I hope you don't mind if I share it again. There was a little boy who was standing in the church foyer looking up at a memorial wall, and there were all these photographs of men and women in uniform, and the pastor walked over to say good morning, and he looked over at Sam, and Sam looked at him, and Sam asked, "Why are all these pictures on this wall?" And the pastor got serious for a moment, and he looked down at Sam, and he said, "Well, Sam, these are all people who lost their lives in service." And that gave Sam a little bit of pause, and he looked up at the pastor with a shaky voice, and he said, "Which service, the 9 a.m. or the 11?" I love that story. I can't tell it enough. It's so sweet, and it's so full of innocence, and it's really perfect. His question and his innocence is perfect for our topic this month. We're talking about doubt, and not just any kind of doubt, divine doubt. And there's a lot of baggage about doubt in our culture. You know, it's people who doubt get a bad rap. There's Doubting Thomas. He got what's wrong with you, Thomas? Get on board with things. There is a little bit of I'll say a misnomer about doubt. And so I thought maybe I would talk about the different kinds of doubt to get us started today, just to break it down a little bit.
You know, Sam's doubt as he stood before the memorial wall was classic. He was being introduced to something that he had no framework for, right? And so he just reached for something familiar. He just went right to this place of thinking the pastor was talking about something different than what he was talking about. And it's a cute little story, but I think this is the kind of doubt that a lot of us experience. Something comes to us that's really weighty and meaty, and we don't quite know what to make of it. And so our anxious doubt tends to come up. And what anxious doubt is that doubt where we begin to spin and reach for something, some safety rail, something to hold us and keep us steady until we understand it. The other kind of doubt that some of us might be familiar with, and it's destructive doubt. And I talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about doubt and community. And destructive doubt is that ego's doubt, and it often takes the form of cynicism, that energy where you just want to tear something down, but you really don't have anything to put in its place. You don't have any idea about what you want to do to build to take its place. And then there's this divine doubt, and that's what we're talking about this month. And that's where we consciously and honestly begin to think that there might be something different or better. And so we begin to question the status quo. And instead of tearing things down, we go a little deeper. We begin to ask questions. And then we are willing to sit with some discomfort to see what it is that wants to be teased out. And so I have just a couple of examples of what that can look like. And the first example that came to mind is Rosa Parks. Now, many of you are probably familiar with Rosa Parks. She did this incredibly wonderful thing in Montgomery, Alabama, so many years ago I think it was in the late 40s, early 50s. And she decided that enough was enough, and when she got onto the bus, and back then there were segregation laws, and so instead of going to the back of the bus, as all African Americans were required to do, she didn't. And she sat in the front of the bus. Now, some of you might think that story, we've all heard that story, actually. Most of us have heard that story of bravery. And you might be thinking that was just a spontaneous act that this woman did. That's just something and it was spontaneous, but at the same time, there was something backing it up. What you may not know about Rosa Parks is that she was the secretary of the NAACP in Montgomery, Alabama. And she had worked for the NAACP for 10 years. She had been involved in that community, working with them, studying nonviolent resistance and looking at how they could, through peaceful measures, really make changes in that area. And at some point, I'm sure 10 years is a long time to be working towards civil rights. And so I'm sure at some point she was beginning to feel disappointed, discouraged even. And something in her, that divine doubt that this just isn't right, gave her the courage not to go to the back of the bus. But Rosa was not by herself. Her action began to inspire the community that she was part of. And so they came together, and of course the rest is history. There was a 381-day strike on the public transportation system, and it ended with the change of the segregation laws. Rosa Parks had a whole community behind her. The doubt that she was feeling, the doubt that she was leaning into, the courage that she had to take that one act really came from the community that she was part of. She had faith that she would be supported. And indeed, her action did spur on. I've heard stories, pastors were on the phone. Oh my God, did you hear what Rosa did? Like, what are we going to do now? Yeah, it's beautiful how it unfolded. And change happened because of her courageous action that she put behind the doubt that she was experiencing. Another story that came up for me as I was thinking about this idea of divine doubt is more personal. I came up in this teaching kind of through the side door. I showed up in a Center for Spiritual Living, then called Religious Science, Baltimore. My mother had been nagging me for a long time to check out this church, and you're going to love this minister. He's really great. He's dynamic. My teacher and the senior minister at the time was Reverend Jeffrey Proctor. And some of you may have known Jeffrey. He was an amazing man, and he was my teacher for 8 years. I was a busy businesswoman. I had my former career. I was an accountant. I was running a business. Jeffrey was my teacher. I would take classes with him, and before long, I started taking all these classes. I became a practitioner. Then I became a minister. And Jeffrey was there for all of that. And then suddenly, Jeffrey died. He had a failure of his heart, and it was very unexpected. He was my age. So it was shocking. And so here we are, this community. I think I had been a minister for maybe just over a year. And as a matter of fact, the entire ministry staff, we had 3 staff ministers. We had all come up together and been licensed together. So here we are, brand new ministers, not sure what to do, having a lot of doubt that any one of us could figure out what to do. But we leaned into that doubt. We began to question about what was ours to do, and we came up with this beautiful plan to be an interim ministry team. So the 3 of us together came forward, and we agreed to run the community while we were in transition. And trust me, our knees were knocking. If you knew Jeffrey, you knew that those were big shoes to fill. And the part of it that I want to share with you is that the community really met us where we were. They met us in our uncertainty. They met us in our lack of confidence. They didn't say, go get polished and we'll find somebody else to do this. They trusted the moment, even though we all didn't know what we were doing. And so there's this potency with uncertainty when it's in a community. Now, I've seen it go a couple of ways. I really have. I've seen it go in another direction where, there's a lot of people complaining about not liking this and not liking that. That's not the kind of doubt I want to encourage you to lean into. I want to encourage you to look for those places where something is bubbling up in you, some curiosity, some uncertainty, and then to sit with it a little bit to see what it is that is being called through you. Being called through you. And so we do have this choice. And one of the things that I know about this teaching that I love is that I have learned how to use my power of choice. I have learned how to use my mind. I have learned how to listen to my heart. I have learned how to be curious. This, we call this teaching science of the mind. And it has been more appropriately called the science and heart, right, of spirituality. That it is the science and heart of mind, or the mind and heart of science. And this really describes that opportunity that we have when we are living in uncertain times to allow ourselves to be curious and not just go with the status quo. To allow ourselves to question, why are we doing it this way? And sometimes the answer is because it works and we want to continue to do it that way. But sometimes the answer is, well, let's discern, let's see what's being called forth. There's some kind of community architecture that wants to be called forth from us. And I guess there's a little caveat that I want to share with each one of you, and that is that sometimes your divine doubt might come up, and sometimes people aren't going to see that there's a need for divine doubt. They're not going to really get down with your curiosity or the things that you want to lean into. And so we have this example of Rosa Parks, where she was so beautifully supported by her community because they were all thinking the same thing: enough's enough, it's time for change. And then we have that example where my community, none of us knew what to do, but we had to trust the process, so the community rose up. But last week I talked to you about Emma Curtis Hopkins and Mary Baker Eddy. Emma Curtis Hopkins is known as the teacher of teachers in New Thought. She was on Mary Baker Eddy's staff, and Mary Baker Eddy is the founder of Christian Science, which is a distant cousin of ours, and as philosophies and teachings go. And when Emma began to question, the inner circle did not follow her out of Christian Science, not at all. As a matter of fact, as I said last week, Emma was fired, and Mary felt betrayed by that questioning. But the thing that happened was still community, because Emma was so clear in her first doubt, and then in what she discerned that, and if you weren't here last week, what she discerned was Mary Baker Eddy thought and claimed that she was a unique revelator of the spirituality that she was teaching. And Emma thought, this seems, I just have seen too much of this in other areas. And so Emma began to teach the crux of the teaching rather than the form of the teaching. And a community rose up to meet her. And so I tell you those three examples as your divine doubt, it might be welcomed. You know, that people be like, oh yeah, I get it. What should we do? But sometimes our divine doubt will be ours to find a new community with, to find new people who, maybe it's your neighbors, and it's something simple like you want to change something in the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be these amazing, like, you know, let's change Jim Crow in the 1950s, 60s. It can be something really simple. But my point with talking about divine doubt is it is an invitation. And if it is indeed divine doubt, and it's not destructive doubt, and it's not anxious doubt, if it indeed is divine doubt, you will find your community with it. And you will be supported. That you will not be walking that road alone. Rosa's doubt by itself was just suffering. But when the community rallied around her, it became divine action, divine right action. Powerful, powerful idea here. Howard Thurman, who is a theologian and a prolific author of the time and of that Rosa Parks community with Martin Luther King Jr., he wrote this about community. There must be a community, not as a nice idea, not as a preference, but as a fundamental intent of life itself. We are not designed to carry our questions alone. And a community that knows how to hold uncertainty, that doesn't panic when someone doubts, that doesn't demand you perform a faith you don't feel, that community becomes a kind of structure, something you can lean on when your own interior architecture is shaky. Howard Thurman got it. Community. Now, it is nice, right? It is nice, and it is preference to be in community, but community has heft. It's there to support us as we move through our spiritual unfolding, as we evolve as spiritual beings, as we walk out this world, having a dedication and a commitment to spiritual principles. Spiritual community is that thing that carries you forward. I have another quote from Cole Arthur Riley, and he writes, and I think it's more about when you have a principle and when you have a divine doubt that leads you to a new truth, and the community appears beneath your feet and carries you, and not necessarily the community you're in. He writes, to be liberated spiritually is to commune with and seek God without fear of alienation if we do not reach the same conclusions as our neighbor. It is to become spiritual creatives. And I love that term, spiritual creatives. I have been, when 100 years ago when this philosophy was founded, it was called religious science. And 15 years ago we said, that's too close to things that we don't really practice. It sounded too much like Christian Science. And so we changed our names to Centers for Spiritual Living, but I still don't think we've resolved what we call ourselves. Are we spiritual livers? Kind of sounds like an organ, doesn't it? My liver is so spiritual. Maybe we call ourselves spiritual creatives. Individuals that are always working at that place of creating, of being in that creative process, of allowing ourselves to be used by God and allowing ourselves to use God to walk out a life that's worth living, that's evolving and changing. And honestly, if we are doing the same thing day after day and expecting different results, well, I've heard a rumor that that's the definition of insanity. So it's our divine doubt that will carry us to be spiritual creatives and not spiritual consumers who just show up and want to be told what to do, and not to be spiritual spectators who might have some good ideas but don't want to really back them up, don't really want to think about what are the actions we should take and to be part of those actions. But to be spiritual creatives are those that are willing to sit with what's coming up for us. What is it that wants to be made new by means of us? What is it that this divine doubt is coming up to sort of tap us on the shoulder for an invitation for something new? I'm really just talking about the process. I'm not talking about how we fill it. I'm going to talk about that a little bit next week when we talk about doubt as devotion. But for this week, I want to invite you to notice doubt that you might be carrying privately. And I'm not suggesting that you just force it open, because I think part of the divine doubt process, if you will, is to sit with your doubt first, to make friends with it, if you will, to feel the discomfort of what wants to be teased out because of the divine doubt. Because in order for, like Rosa Parks, in order for it to really be something that needs to be done, it needs the energy of the tension of sitting with the discomfort first. So I invite you to sit with it and to ask yourself if this is yours alone or if it's something that you must carry forward. And then you might find one person you trust to share it with and to get some creative feedback, if you will. And not just to get an answer from them, but to be heard and to be seen and to hear yourself say it out loud. And then finally, I want to invite you to take this to your journaling, whatever divine doubt might be coming up through you, and to write about it, to ask yourself, where is this doubt coming from? And what is it calling me to do? And that, my friends, I think, will give you the answers to what is your next step to take with it. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and do our prayer process. We call it spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And so join me. And I invite you to close your eyes and take a breath or lower your gaze. Center yourself. Feeling the free-flowing breath as it moves through your body and knowing that that is the movement of the divine. That there is a place in you that is in constant communication with the divine. And so as we settle ourselves, we listen. We listen to the soul that's calling us forward. We listen to the divine doubts that might be coming through to us. We discern. We allow ourselves to ask, is this indeed something the divine wants me to question? And in the peace and the silence that you've created in your own mind, I invite you to simply be still and allow grace to whisper in your heart. When you ask the question, what is mine to do? What is mine to ask? What is mine to say? And in the full awareness of the divine within ourselves, trust that still small voice and give thanks for it. Know that each one is always divinely inspired. Each one is always available. For what I know about the divine is it is constant. And so I know for each one today here in this beautiful sanctuary and this listening to the sound of my voice that we are divinely guided. And we trust, no matter how simple or grand that guidance is, that it is ours to walk out. And I know for each one the courage and the fortitude to say yes to God when we ask, and yes to God when it taps us on the shoulder, and yes to God when we know that this is God's work, for God always supports its work. And so it is with a grateful heart that I surrender this word, that I know the highest and the best for each one, for all life, for this is always God expressing. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. And the Sufis applaud like this. And it is time to bring our band back up. I hear them back there with the mics, and it's time to bring the wonderful, the amazing Jen Stackpole.
After that beautiful talk, thank you, that the tension, the energy of the tension of sitting with the discomfort, I now understand why I was called to bring this song that I'm about to do for you next, that I'm going to be offering with the guys next. It's a song that I wrote a long time ago called Can't Let Go. And it's not the usual happy Jen Stackpole song that you're used to hearing. This song was written out of significant loss. I lost a very dear friend of mine very unexpectedly in a car accident, and he was only 20. And when he died, I always felt like a piece of my soul left with him. happened very suddenly, very unexpectedly. And I didn't know what to do after he passed. So this piece of my soul, I always felt like it just left. And then roughly about a year later, I lost someone else. And I felt broken. I felt broken in a way that I did not know whether or not I was going to actually be able to make it through. And what's interesting is when I took that feeling into prayer, when I took that feeling into my journaling and I actually just started admitting it to myself, that piece of my soul that left with Kirk came back, and with it came this song. And this song, I don't do it often, full disclosure, and probably for obvious reasons. But I felt compelled and I felt guided to offer it here, especially with the subject being doubt, because that's what this song was born out of. It was born out of my doubt of going, listen, God, I know you give your toughest battles to your strongest soldiers, but I'm going to tell you right now, you made me human, and I don't think I have it. And this song has brought me so much healing. And in the times that I have offered and shared it, I hope it uplifts you as well. And with that, this is Can't Let Go. Thank you. Morning breaks, I see the sun rise up, and it makes me feel like crying. No one understands this state I'm in, but this loss makes me feel like I am dying. So suddenly the news hits me like a ton of bricks so rapidly. I feel like I'm 3 feet thick. Now I don't know what to do. I can't let go of you. I'm a shadow of what I once knew. Oh, you were larger than life. This cuts me like a knife. I can't let go of you. It's late at night, I watch the news again, and it makes me feel like crying. This emptiness threatens my very soul. I don't know how to keep from dying. So suddenly I'm aware that I've gotta move on so rapidly. I know that I must be strong, yet I don't know what to do. I can't let go of you. I'm a shadow of what I once knew. Oh, you were larger than life. This cuts me like a knife. I can't let go of you. Weren't you the one who showed me how to move on with my head held nothing but high? You showed me how to make all my loved ones proud. You showed me how to fly, how to fly. what to do. I can't let go of you. I'm a shadow of what I once knew. Oh, you were larger than life. This cuts me like a knife. I can't let go of you. Oh, I don't know what to do. I can't let go of you. I'm a shadow of what I once knew. Oh, you were larger than life. This cuts me like a knife. I can't let go of you. Thank you. And to these guys, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, let's give her another hand. That knife is pretty sharp. Woo! Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Whew. I don't feel like doing anymore. I think I'm done. Well, okay, in the spirit of moving on, let's thank her band. And can the songbirds just stand up, just take a quick bow? Come on, come on. Just really quick. All right, now it's time for our giving portion of the service. And if this is your time to give, that's fantastic. And if it's not your time to give, that's fantastic. Life is good, you know. If you're giving online, there'll be a little something there for you to read, and you can do that. And if you, where did you go? If you read this prosperity affirmation with me, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one.
Thank you, God. Thank you for this opportunity to give, to receive, to be blessed, to bless all those around us, to accept love and give love, because this is the way we are. We are divine beings saying yes. And so it is. And so it is. All right. Do we have any guests for the first time? If we do, can you just raise your hand? What? Oh. Did I forget something? Do we have any guests for the first time? Raise your hand, and we'll have the ushers. Mary's going to bring him a cup of coffee. Yay! And there's a little guest book we have for you in the back if you want to sign up. Come on, raise your hand. We got another one over there. Come on. Oh, it's embarrassing. Go for it. Right, yeah, here you go. Yep, over there, Mary. Can we just appreciate all those who are in service this week, the ones that gave of their time, their talents, their treasures. They volunteered to be here, or they volunteered during the week, or they volunteered for the month, or they're volunteering for the year. Can you just stand up for a second? I just want to see those happy faces. Woo! After the service, we have practitioners on duty. If you need a 1-minute faith lift, if you have an issue, if you have something that's bugging the bum out of you, go see one of these great people. We have Cheryl Lyman, Tony Sparks, and Kathy Story. You can see one of them after the service. And now, our most biggest volunteer, Dr. Alice.
All right. You all know I may do some volunteering, but I'm also your employee. So just to make sure we're clear about that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the introduction. Conscious Connections, which is our group that meets in the lobby at noon, is an opportunity for you to come together with like-minded people to discuss what you heard this morning, what came up for you. So I invite you to join folks in the lobby at noon for that. Gourmets and gatherings for God. We've been accepting your bids. Those bids, we're going to close bidding when Conscious Connection starts, to be fair to everyone here. So make sure you have your final bids in by noon today. It's exciting. Check out if your bid's still good. That's another way that we absolutely are in community. And those of you who have agreed to be host, you need to stand up next time. They ask for volunteers to be acknowledged. Thank you so much for your generosity. We will be doing a very special gathering on June 21st. We're calling it Sacred Ground. It'll still be here, but it'll be a different kind of Sunday. We're looking at creating an opportunity for us to practice peace together, not just have a meeting to talk about peace, but to actually practice it. And it'll be a really wonderful opportunity. Reverend Karen and our music minister and I are putting together a beautiful program. We have a wonderful soloist. We have ritual. There'll be a representative from a couple of different philosophies. We'll have a Buddhist monk here. We'll have somebody representing peace practice that is Jewish. And we'll have somebody from the Baha'i community talk about their peace practice. And we'll talk about the peace practice that we follow through our principles and Science of Mind. So I invite you to put that on your calendar. It'll be a very special day, different format. The doors are going to open at 10. Everything will start at 10:30. It'll be a special day. We'll have some flyers. This is a great opportunity to invite other groups that you're involved with, put flyers up in places that you go in the public. We're putting out some press releases. We just thought it was time to create an opportunity for people to practice peace together. All right. And then, because we just love supporting each other, the band is going to do a concert on August 2nd. That's a Sunday. Thank you, band. Woohoo! We know that's going to be special, and that'll be a fundraiser. We do have Science of Mind magazines over by the coffee maker, just to the it's to the right of the coffee maker. You'll see a little box and magazines. You can buy your magazines there. We have our usual suspects. Those are the things you can do throughout the week. Mondays, with Mary's a book study, which will happen since it's on Zoom. However, the yoga class is taking a hiatus for Memorial Day weekend celebration festivities, but Mike will be there on Tuesday at 10 a.m. for yoga, so join us for that. That's in the San Juan location. Shifting Sands at the San Juan location, Thursdays at 10:30, and Coming Home, Awakening to Spirit. There's a way to join a support group on Zoom at 8 a.m. on Fridays. All of this is on our website. All of this is in brochures you can pick up in the lobby there. And if you have any questions, just see myself or Mary. I think Reverend Arpad already asked if there were anybody who was new here and hasn't signed our guest log. If you do sign up for our guest log, we'll be happy to give you a cup of coffee, a little card you can take to Starbucks, and we'd love to give you a sign to my magazine as well. So thank you for joining us. Next week, we will have Mark Wood here as our musical inspiration for the last Sunday in May, and we'll be talking about doubt as devotion. And with that, let's go ahead and bring the songbirds back up for our final song.
And let's all stand and sing together the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Repeat after me. I am a spiritual creative. And so it is.